Hey everyone, in this video we are going to look at correlation. Very often we hear people talking about correlation between two variables. For example, we hear that there is a positive correlation between IQ of a person and the marks that the person obtains for an examination, which means that persons with higher IQ tend to score higher marks and people with lower IQ tend to score lower marks. And there is a negative correlation between savings and expenditure. That is, the more you spend, the less you will be able to save. So, correlation. If two quantities vary in such a way that movements in one are accompanied by movements in the other, then these quantities are said to be correlated. For example, there exist some relationships between family income and expenditure on luxury items, price of a commodity, and amount demanded, and so on. That is, correlation is the study of the relationship between two or more variables. The measure of correlation is known as the coefficient of correlation, denoted by R. It summarizes in one figure the direction and degree of correlation. Thus, correlation analysis refers to the techniques used in measuring the closeness of the relationship between the variables. The study of correlation is of immense use in practical life because of the following reasons. Number one, most of the variables show some kind of relationship between price and supply, income and expenditure, among others. So, with the help of correlation analysis, we can measure in one figure the degree of relationship which exists between the variables. Once we know that the two variables are closely related, we can estimate the value of one variable given the value of another. This is done with the help of regression analysis, which we will see in later videos. In business, correlation enables executives to estimate costs, sales, price, and other variables on the basis of some other series in which the costs, sales, or prices may be functionally related. So that's where a scatter diagram comes in. When this method is used, the given data are plotted on a graph paper in the form of dots. That is, for each pair of x and y values, we put dots and thus obtain as many points as the number of observations. By analyzing the scatter of various points, we can form an idea as to whether the variables are related or not. We have three scatter plots representing a positive correlation, a negative correlation, or no correlation. Number one, if all points lie on a rising straight line, the correlation is perfectly positive and R is equal to +1. The second diagram, if all points lie on a falling straight line, the correlation is perfectly negative and R is equal to -1. The third plot, if the points are spread or scattered without any specific pattern, then correlation is absent and R is equal to 0. So, one thing to note is the correlation coefficient R is a numerical value between -1 and 1 inclusive, which indicates the linear degree of scatter. That is, R lies between -1 and 1 inclusive. We've seen that if R is equal to 1, it indicates perfect positive linear correlation. If R is equal to -1, it indicates perfect negative linear correlation. And lastly, if R is equal to 0, it indicates no correlation, means no relationship between two variables. the nearer the value of r is to 1 or minus 1, the closer the points on the scatter diagram are to the regression line. This is a regression line. So you can see we have a line here. The closer the points are to the regression line, the nearer the value of r is to 1 or minus 1. Let us consider the simplest type of regression function where f of x is a straight line. If the points on the scatter diagram appear to lie near a straight line, called a regression line, you would say that there is a linear correlation between x and y. A line is linear. We can see from the first diagram, y tends to increase as x increases. So we can see that there is a positive linear correlation. The second plot, y tends to decrease as x increases. So we can say that there is a negative correlation. For the third scatter plot, we can see that there is no relationship between x and y. So which means there is no correlation. Now, sometimes mathematically there may appear to be a relationship, but this does not imply that there is a relationship in reality. Let's see a few more examples. In the first scatter diagram, we can see that there is a positive correlation. But if we compared it to part B, we can see that we have a strong positive correlation between x and y because the points are close to each other compared to the first one. So we can have a positive correlation or a strong positive correlation. Now part C. We have a perfect positive correlation. We've seen previously that if we have a perfect positive correlation, the r is equal to plus 1 because it is close to what? It is close to the regression line. So we have what? The shape of a line. For part D, we have a negative correlation between x and y. Here we have a strong negative correlation compared to part D. E, the points in E are much more closer than the points in D. And lastly, for F, we have a perfect negative correlation. Most of the points are either very close to the regression line or on the regression line. So R is -1, perfect negative, perfect positive. For G, clearly no correlation between x and y as seen previously. Now this one, we can see that there is a non-linear relationship between x and y. There is not a linear relationship, but there is a non-linear relationship. So you can see it takes the form of a curve. Methods of correlation. The following are the important methods of confirming whether two variables are correlated or not. We have seen the first one, which is the scatter diagram. Now, the scatter diagram just gives you an idea whether they are correlated or not and what type of correlation, whether positive, negative, or no correlation at all. But it does not give you the coefficient of correlation. So that's where we can use the Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation, or you can use the Spearman's rank correlation coefficients. In the next lecture, we're going to see how we use the Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation.